What's the story, Morning Glory? What's the word? Hummingbird. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance, Season 9, Episode 7. It's Me or the Bikini. So this is going to be the Jibri and Miona edition. So we start off with Jibri and Miona going to visit Jibri's grandmother. She lives on a farm somewhere out there in South Dakota, Rapid City. And the grandmother asks Miona, how does she feel about Rapid City? How does she feel about staying with Mahala? And Miona says she really doesn't care for Rapid City. She can't wait to leave. And she says that Mahala has a lot of rules in her home. And the grandmother is like, yeah, that's Mahala. So the grandmother tells Miona to take Mahala with a grain of salt. Like, don't take her too seriously. And if your goal is to get married to Jibri, just, put up with it. Just take it for with a grain of salt, and just put up with it until you're able to achieve your goal, which is to get married to Jibri. So the grandmother asks both of them, where will the wedding take place? And so Jibri says, well, we're going to get married here in Rapid City. And Miona's like, no, I'm going to have my dream wedding on the beach. So she's not going to let go of that. I don't know what Jabri thought in bringing Miona to the United States before he was married. I don't understand why they rushed into things. Now, word on the curb is that they are already married. That I think when Miona arrived to the United States, they were already legally married. I don't know, but I don't understand what is if I think Miona is the kind of girl, like, as soon as you meet her, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. So there's nothing about Miona that should be a surprise to Jabri. So my question is, why couldn't he, before he brought her over here to the United States, why couldn't he get his funds together, stack up his paper, so that when she came here, he can give her the life that she expected, living in a major city like LA or Miami or New York, having her beach wedding. Why couldn't they wait until then? I mean, you know what kind of chick she is. You know what kind of girl she is. You know that she wants what she wants, and she's not going to accept anything less. Because ever since she has arrived in Rapid City, all she can talk about is leaving Rapid City, going to LA, and getting her beach wedding. And she doesn't want to hear anything else that is less than that. So why wouldn't he just wait until he could have enough money to bring her over here? What was the rush? What was the point of putting both of themselves through something like this? But anyways, so they're back at home, back at Jabri's parents' house, and Jabri just got off the phone or just got off FaceTiming with his band member, David. And David has told Jabri that there is a great opportunity for them to work with a certain producer, but they have to travel to Chicago. So obviously, we all know that Jabri is trying to jumpstart his career. The whole pandemic thing had put a screeching halt to the performances and the concerts and all of that. So now they're trying to get back in the groove now that things are starting to open back up again. And so any opportunity that comes by, he needs to jump on it. So he goes in to tell Miona about the opportunity and that he's going to have to go to Chicago. So the question is, will Miona be coming along, or will she have to stay in Rapid Cities? And Miona's like, I don't want to stay here. And she says it in a way like, how could you even offer me to the possibility of staying here without you? Like, hell no, I'm not going to stay here. So she opts to go to Chicago with him. And I thought to myself, when she goes to Chicago and she sees that Chicago is a big happening city, maybe she wouldn't be so damn miserable, because she talked about her going to Chicago is a huge sacrifice that she's making for him. And so she starts listing off all the sacrifices that she's done for him. She starts talking about how she left her family, left her friends, left her country to come here to be with him. Now she's sacrificing even more by going to Chicago with him. But I'm like, girl, going to Chicago is a good thing. You're not really giving up anything by going to Chicago. I'm pretty sure you're going to be a lot more happier in Chicago than you're going to be in Rapid City, South Dakota. She's going to see the big buildings, and she's going to see. I mean, it's just going to be like a completely different world in Chicago. I'm like, why doesn't she understand that? And why doesn't Jabri explain that to her? Like, hey, you're going to have a great time in Chicago. But anyways, moving on. So he's cool with that, but he asks her, so how are you and David gonna get along? Because Miona, David, they hate each other because David thinks that Miona is just using Jibri and that she's just an opportunist. And I think that David needs to kind of let go of that because they've been together long enough for him to kind of understand that maybe Miona and Jibri are serious about one another. I wish that David would just apologize to Miona and say, look, I completely misjudged you. I see that you really are here for my boy, and I accept you with open arms. So that just let's just get over this whole Miona and David thing because I feel like the show is trying to build up this tension of when Miona and David come face to face when they reunite. How bad is it going to be, and what is Jabri going to do about it? And I was like, I just need. It's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like Jabri and Miona are together. They're gonna stay together. David needs to realize that. Send her a text or FaceTime the girl. Be like, hey, before we meet up, just want to let you know I'm supporting your relationship. I'm sorry for the things I said. Can we move past this? But whatever. So she tells Jibby that she cannot make any promises on whether or not she's going to behave around David. She says that if he starts with me, I'm going to bring it back to him. I'm not going to sit quietly by if he disrespects me. So if he disrespects me, I'm going to let him have it. So then she talks about, how, this is it's such a sacrifice for her to travel to Chicago. And she says, I give you whatever you want and I sacrifice so much for you to have what you want. But when I ask for one little thing, it becomes such a big deal. And then he looks at her and he says, well, what do you want? And she says, a beach wedding. And he's like, okay, but it's going to have to be prolonged. We can't do that right away. And so she says, but if I have to go to Chicago, then I'm going to need my beach wedding. And then Jabri says, he hates that his relationship has become basically, tick for tat. He hates that. It's like, okay, I'll do for you if you do for me kind of thing. And they're both are like trying to prove to the other which one is sacrificing more. So there's like this whole sacrificial competition and he hates that. This is not a normal relationship and it isn't. So I don't know what he's going to do. I don't understand the exchange of the beach wedding for her to go to Chicago. Like, what is she? First of all, yes, she left her family and she left her country to come be with him in America, but she did this voluntarily. And she doesn't have to really do anything in Rapid Cities. It's not like, she has to wake up at the crack of dawn to go and do some manual labor out there, or, Mahala has her is working her like a slave or something. I mean, she's sitting there putting on her makeup as he's telling her about this trip about Chicago. She's just sitting there all pretty, her hair done, just playing with her makeup. Like, what are you talking about? That, you'll go to Chicago as long as you get a beach. Then just stay here. Stay with Mahala. Go do some more laundry with Mahala. Like, what the hell? This is a great trip. Chicago's going to, and I don't understand why Jabri can't explain that to her. It will not be a sacrifice for her to go to Chicago, unless she's talking about the sacrifice is that she's going to run into David, and that's the sacrifice that she's making. I don't know what this girl is talking about. I have no idea. But, I mean, girl, no one should be this miserable. No one should be this miserable. If it's that hard for you in Rapid City, please just go to wherever it is that you want to go. If you think it's that easy, like Jabri is just playing with your mind, because I know that she sees what's going on with Jabri. Like, he's trying, right? I feel like he's trying. I don't know why he doesn't get a 9 to 5. Like, why doesn't he just get a regular job until the music thing takes off? Or does he have to be constantly on standby in case he's called to Chicago to cut an album or whatever they're going to go do in Chicago? Or if he has to, book a gig and, he has to go perform on I don't know what's going on. Like, that your girlfriend is very high maintenance and she wants things quickly and she wants things now. So Jabri, why haven't you gotten a job to make some quick money? Put it in your savings, because you talk about how, it's going to take forever for y'all to save enough money to move to LA. So why haven't you done? I don't understand. I don't get it. But hopefully things will work out in Chicago. And I'm saying that even though I saw the preview of the physical altercation that Jabri and David get involved in. So Man, I hope it's not as bad as it looked. But anyway, that is my review for Jibri and Miona. Thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far, I do appreciate it. On your way out, don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, please subscribe. If you don't like this content, don't worry about it. But thank you for stopping by anyway, and I will definitely talk to you later.